Hey everybody, how are you doing? It's Jay Victoria, the Energy Queen, and I am coming on to do the energy update for September the 8th, 2024. Um, if you've been watching the updates from the past few weeks, you will know that this is a really intense time. You probably don't even need to watch these videos to know that. And the most recent update I did, I talked about um, it's like you really have to make a choice in your soul to choose love and choose positivity and choose to believe in God and to choose it's like to really choose that. It feels like we're being pushed and challenged and molded by fire and purified, and it's not easy. Um, and I know it must not be easy for other people. And if you feel that way, that's why I'm showing up, because I know that I have the ability to see energy. That's what I do with my business. I see energy and I dissolve negative energy. That's what I do. And I'm doing that on myself every morning. And even for me, it's so hard. I'll be honest right now. It's so hard. And it just feels like there's so much good coming through. It's kind of like when you plant seeds, like it's like they have to push through in order to bloom. So it kind of feels like we're still pushing through, but I think we've been pushing through a long time. I'm going to be honest, and and it's sort of like waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and you have faith the whole time, but then you're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for things to get better, and you're praying and you're doing all the things and you keep going and you keep having faith and you're waiting, and then you're waiting and you're waiting. And so it's like, what's going on here? So that is how it feels right now. And I know that since Jesus resurrected, negative energy was all defeated. That's how I do my work. It's through him. And he taught me how to do that. Um, and that makes it rare energy work. I think you don't usually hear people who work with energy talk about Jesus. Mine is completely about him, from him, and um and different because of that. But I I just wanted to say all this to tell you that I also feel that way. If you're feeling hopeless, I feel that too. So I can only imagine what someone who maybe doesn't have the ability to clear their own energy, or to see energy, or if you haven't had those experiences. And we're all different. We all have different gifts, by the way. So you do have your own soul gifts, which you should absolutely be using and developing. And I have a program I run called Energy School, where I help you do that. um, I'm planning on opening that up this fall, so if you're interested, you can email. But and my email's in the description. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And it feels like loved so hard by God, because it's almost like every negative thing inside of you, it has to come out. It has to be purged. It's like he's being loving by being relentless with us. It's like the thing about energy is that, imagine that, I always think it's good if you get triggered, to be honest, because imagine that, like, you were living your life and here's your energy and you have a lot of negative things inside, but they're hidden. And so it's like you feel okay, but you don't even realize that your life could be better. And so when you're triggered, it's like that thing that was inside of you comes to the surface and now you feel shitty, but it's like, at least on the surface and you are aware of it, which is better than being unaware. So when you're getting triggered, it's actually a good thing because it's things coming out of you, things coming into your awareness that this negative energy's in me. And so it's like actually a huge blessing to be triggered. Because it means that now you're working through it. And in my sessions, I clear that energy so that you don't have to deal with that whole process for years and, however long triggers can take to fully deal with them. But yeah, like, so being triggered right now is like, we got to get that stuff out of the way. The more you do, the better you feel. And I know God is here. And I know that praying definitely is a good idea right now. Even if it's hard, do it. And for the women watching, if you identify as a woman, it's so important right now to take care of your feminine energy, because feminine energy is what's missing for so many women. And to get it back, you just have to stop. I feel like when you're going and going and going, like, feminine energy is about being present. So if you're not present, you will feel really shitty in these times, especially. And um, I have gone through that lately where it's like nothing even makes sense anymore if you don't have feminine energy, if you're not present. And for the men, if you identify as a man, men actually thrive by putting your masculine first. So you need to hustle, you need to get organized, you need to take action first. And if you identify as non-binary, I always say work when work feels restful and rest when rest feels productive. So there's some advice that I think can help. And yeah, I mean, I know, like, I just know it's really hard right now. And that's why I wanted to show up, why I want to keep showing up. And yeah, we're going through a lot and we're letting go of a lot. We're facing a lot of things inside of us that are difficult. And I'm going to do some of my energy clearing language at the end of this update to give you a lift in your energy. It's just, yeah, I just want to talk frankly a little bit. Like, it's just really, really hard. And it feels like that's why even me talking right now might seem really scattered because that's how it feels. It feels like nothing makes sense, and it's confusing, and you might even feel abandoned by God. And what I wanted to come on here and say, though, what inspired me to finally get up off the floor, I was laying on the floor on my back. I'm definitely going to do an energy clearing session on myself after this. I need it. But I saw a vision of my resurrected energy. And something really cool that I've learned is that from watching the energy world is that Jesus, when he died, like, he died a physical person, right? He bled real blood on the cross. They even cut him open and water came out. It was like miraculous. And then he was dead for 3 days, but then he came back. And what I've started to be interested in this year is, in my sessions, I always use the blood that he shed on the cross. That's the physical element in the energy world that I use to dissolve negative energy, which is still like my favorite and works really, really well. But I started to get really curious about the blood of the resurrected Christ, because he had a body too. And the resurrected Christ is the physical being that still exists because he didn't go back in the ground again. He actually rose into heaven. And so he's still physical. And I was like, what is his blood like? Because this is the resurrected Christ. And I got that, like, the resurrected Christ is so high frequency. We don't even have a lot of um, images of the resurrected Christ. We have the physically dead Christ, the sacrifice Christ on the cross. But what about him right now? What about the resurrected Christ? And what's so fascinating is that he is so high frequency, you guys, that his blood now, it's not even liquid, it's the physical purple flame. Have you ever heard of the purple flame, the violet flame? It's fire and it is purple. And in my lexicon, I have all these different meanings for color in the energy world. And in my lexicon of color, dark purple is victimhood. If I see dark purple in someone's energy, it means they have victimhood energy in them. But they all have a flip side. So the light purple is the lightning of victimhood. It's like forgiveness. It's when you don't feel like a victim anymore, when you're free. Light purple is such a good color to have around you. And I have like a blanket right now. I have that color around me a lot because that will help you get into the frequency of not being a victim, which is so freeing and so true of who you really are. So have that color around you. That's another hot tip. Wear it on your eyeshadow, wear it on your clothes, like have it wherever, but like it's a good frequency to have for your energy. And the violet flame that you hear about, that's another thing that makes my work different from other people is I understand, and I feel like it's actually pretty uncommon, that it's pretty rare. I don't know why, but like that, like the chakras and energy and spirit, like all the things you hear about crystals and spirituality, that's all the same as what we talk about in religion. Like they're talking about the same things. So the violet flame, it's not just some random cool violet flame angel thing. That's the blood of Christ, the resurrected Christ. And it is very powerful. And all that to say, I saw laying on the floor a resurrected vision of my like spirit resurrected, because we are all in the process of resurrecting ourselves, yourself. Your soul has probably lived many lifetimes, and in each lifetime you're trying to nail, no pun intended. That's pretty funny though, right? I am a comedian. You're trying to nail resurrection. You're trying to resurrect yourself because you're a spark of God, right? He laid out the template for us. So your resurrection is imminent. That's why your soul keeps coming back. If you don't get it, you're going to do it, right? You're going to do it. And even right now, though, the fascinating thing is that there's a resurrected version of you that already exists. Did you know that? And I didn't even realize that till I saw that tonight. And it was that purple color. And Jesus holds us, the resurrected version of us, he holds us in that. He holds us there. It already exists. It's already there. It's already real. It's like how Abraham Hicks talks about the vortex, like it's there, and it's real, and it exists. And the reason you feel shitty is because you're in the process of releasing a lot of negative things. And you also feel shitty because you know that this isn't who you really are. That's who you really are. And so it's like on earth, what we're trying to do all the time is become who we really are. And that requires a shit ton of letting go, a shit ton of letting go, because you were not taught who you were from the moment you were born. You were taught you were limited. You were taught you were not this enough and not that enough. And you're a spirit, right? So your identity is this incredible being who is that, like you, and you are that. But it's like while you're here, you can't quite see it, even though you know it. And so you do feel limited. And it's important to keep that connection with God because you are, that's like plugging in your phone to charge it. It's like that's where you get your juice back, your power back. It's like we so need him. You know what I mean? It's like a wilderness that we're in of energy. It's like we so need that guiding light. Just makes it easier. It's like somebody shining a flashlight in the dark. Why would you not want that? So the thing I want to say about this is that your like purpose, it can feel a lot of the times like there's something that you need to do or something that you want to be, and you just want to be that so bad, but you're not that, and so you're in that frustrated place. And one thing I want to say about that is that it's not about the outcomes, it's about the process as well. Embrace the way that you're growing. But also, your life is bigger, your energy is bigger, and the entire thing is about that one thing, your personal resurrection. And so it seems like I have to have money and I have to be famous and I have to have this goal and I have to have that goal and I have to get married and I have to, but the truth is, no, you don't. You just have to do that one thing. That's why you're here. That's why we're all here. And this moment that we're in right now feels like a powerful choice to, I know you've already been saying yes if you're watching this video and you're still watching, to your own personal resurrection. It's like just keep saying yes. It's the time to do that. Just keep saying yes to overcoming everything that resurrection means, overcoming, learning lessons, being a light in the world, doing good. You can be the resurrected version of you every day by believing in love, by believing in God, by believing in the good, and believing that is the truth. That's how you bring your own soul back to who it really is. And so you're creating a lot of things that you want to create in your future. But I also want you to look around your life every single day. And I want you to look for, where can I affirm that Jesus already overcame all negativity? Where can I affirm that for myself and for other people? That's the challenge right now. And what does that look like? Well, all the stuff I'm working on, I'll tell you what that is. I'm doing it too. It's choosing resurrection is about not giving up hope and knowing that it already happened, knowing that that's not who you already are. What would you do if you knew that it's like you already are resurrected? You already overcame everything. What would you do? How would you live? How would you approach your life? How would you approach your goals if you already won? And I want you to look at all the ways that you're getting discouraged, and I want you to fix them, because discouragement is not telling you the truth. You're victorious. I actually named myself. That's not my Jaya Victoria is not my original name. I have been feeling everything that I'm talking about coming for years. I've been doing Energy Queen, my business, for 5 years, since 2019. The process for me to even learn what I can do happened before that. So it's been a long time, a lot of buildup, a lot. I'm going to make a movie someday. It's just like a lot. I will too. Like, I named myself Jaya Victoria at a certain point because Jaya means victory, and Victoria was like just extra assurance. And it's also like the feminine victory. I had to name myself, you guys, at a certain point because that's how much I needed to believe in what I'm talking about right now. And that's the name everybody calls me. It's just my name now. But that's how important this is. And that's how big this is. And that's how much it has been coming and coming and coming and coming for a long time. And we're all part of it. So, what is being Victoria for you? I want you to look around the place you live, and is your place shouting, screaming victory? Clean up the clutter. Get rid of things that feel old. Get rid of the clothes. Prepare yourself for your victory, is what I'm saying. If you have a bunch of dishes in the sink, clean them. Like, prepare for victory. And get up in the morning and have your coffee, have a shower, get ready. I want you to prepare for victory because you are already victorious, is the thing. So don't let yourself get pulled down into discouragement because it's not even real. And if you got to do something, do it. And if you got to say something, say it, and live in your victory right now. And it's going to feel like walking through mud sometimes. It's going to feel like I'm not in my victory, Jay. I'm not. Really not. And I feel depressed. But the challenge right now, by the way, that's why you need God. That's why I do the work I do. I help people with this, and I am doing it on myself. I need it. I know that. It might feel like walking through mud, but you're still walking. And so take the rest you need. It's not bad to rest, but don't keep believing in your victory, whatever that means for you. All right. So I hope this helped, and I'm believing in you. And oh, right, I was going to do some Hamani. Before I do that, I want to let you know I had the inspiration to put my PayPal in the description if you would like to thank me for the messages I'm sharing. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. So I figured if I'm going to keep showing up no matter what. You don't have to pay me to show up, but sometimes it's nice to be able to say thank you if something really helped you. And it actually, I know, feels good for people to do that. So I wanted to do that in case you watched this and it changed your life. And I would appreciate that so much. So thank you. I'll put that in the or in the description. And now I'm going to do some Hamani. This is an energy language that I channeled. It's unique to my work. And it'll just sound probably like sounds, but it moves energy. So the intention for this, it'll only be a couple minutes, is just to bring you back and remind you of who you really are, which is the victorious, resurrected spirit. All right. So you can just close your eyes and receive this. Okay. La Ahinian Canarisiani, La Parania Clia Crania Siani, Aparania Ilia Crania Siani Clia Crania Siapialia, La Crania Clia Crania Siani, Porilia Acraria Clia Crania, La Parania Lia Crania Siani, La Rila Crilia, Renia Siania Kiani, Aparnia Li Crania Siriali, Alia Crania. Lara Ilia Krania Siani, Lara Ilia Krania Siani, Araria Ya Kiani, Laprania Librinia, Krialia, Alia Krania, Lara Ilia Krania Siani, Lara Ia Kiri, Lag Ikrania, Prania Sia, Lea Krania Sikari, Akaria Kiani Siani, Lara Niani Kiani, Aprania Lia Krania Sia. La Karania Karania Siani Yakiani, Yapia Karania Siani. Thank you. I feel like I saw a light going up and I just feel like it created a pathway to Christ. It's just like this energetic pathway straight. Straight to him. And I laugh when I get really connected to the energy world because everything's fine in the energy world. It's like everything's totally okay. So I think that's why I'm a comedian too. It's good to laugh. So I hope you enjoyed this and keep laughing and make sure you like the video if it helped you as well. And subscribe so you get my next one. Lots of love. Bye.